you?
Mhm.
I know I'm gonna have to eventually get on audio, so if you'll give me a minute to switch to phone audio.
Okay, well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Civic Association meeting for March of May of 2022. I had to go plug up my phone, excuse me. We were going to be at the park, but obviously due to rain, we couldn't make it. So I'm glad everyone knew to come to Zoom. And the cool part about us having to connect on Zoom during all the pandemic months are now, if you know a meeting has been canceled in person, you can pretty much go find it on Zoom. So that's kind of cool. So thank you for those of you who have joined us already. Chris, how are you? You there,
I'm doing
sister?
good.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so you all want to get this meeting started. I'm down with that. So as an icebreaker, I want you all to say what your favorite Memorial Day pastime is. And I will start. Mine, of course, is starting a cookout, right? Hot dogs, burgers, family. I'm really excited that my family, we're going to be having a big family picnic in the park on Saturday. So that's the opening of the summertime festivities, and I'm really excited. And hopefully we'll catch a parade somewhere. So who would like to go next?
I can go. I think,
Hey,
can
Ryan.
you hear me fine?
Mm-hmm.
I think this year, my favorite thing about it, not necessarily pastime, but just being able to get the whole family back together again after a couple of years of everyone being so far apart and people being afraid to meet up. Everyone's finally getting back together for something. It's really nice.
Very true. Thank you.
I'll go next.
Hey,
My
hey,
favorite
Laura.
My favorite thing isn't something I get to do every year, but every few years, when Memorial Day falls at a time when the weather has been nice enough that the peonies are all blooming, then I kind of see that coming and I make a little road trip. We have family graves in Indiana in a couple different places, and I kind of cut some roses and cut the peonies and take them with me, and I just visit the graves that we're all too far away from to visit very often, and just make a little round trip. And it just feels good to do that every once in a while.
That's beautiful. Thank you. That's beautiful.
I can go next. Hi, everybody. This year, I'm excited. I guess it's a new tradition. We did it last year and we're doing it again this year. But my in-laws live in Maryland. So we drive out there and then go to Delaware and go to the beach. So we'll be doing that on Memorial Day. I'm looking forward to it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's always fun. So when you say Delaware, you mean Delaware, Ohio?
No, the state. Delaware.
okay.
Yeah, because they They live
There's
all the way in
kind of like a
Maryland.
beach there.
There is a beach there
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's cool. Great. Okay, who's next?
Hi, I can go next.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't really have any Memorial Day traditions, but I would say the holiday has always felt for the obvious reasons it's a lovely holiday. But it's always been really just exciting to mark, I think, the beginning of summer and usually traveling and being able to be outside a lot more. And like you said, do some cookouts and just, spend more kind of casual time with friends and family. So I think it's more of what it kind of symbolizes as a beginning that feels pretty exciting to me. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Next.
I can go next. For Memorial
Okay.
Day, that usually is like a period when a lot of people open up their pools. So my friend Rob usually has his pool open prior to Memorial Day. So actually this Monday, he'll have some friends over to celebrate.
That is great. That is awesome. Who's next? Beth?
Hi, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay,
Mhm.
making sure my headphones weren't working. So for Memorial Day, so hi, everybody. This is my first Wyland Park meeting as your neighborhood liaison. So
Hey, Beth.
hello, glad to see everyone. So my thing with Memorial Day, I'll be totally honest, it's usually my deadline of trying to get my tomatoes in the ground. So I'm not a good gardener, but I like to garden. So that is my goal. Make sure things are in the ground so that I can have a harvest later.
Right. That's usually my goal on Memorial Day, and Lowe's loves to see me coming too. Because I might think I'm going to make one trip, and before it's all said and done, I've made 3 or 4 in one day. Thank God it's around the corner, So they love to see me coming this time of year. Oh, great. Hi, Patina.
Hello.
Want to go?
I don't have anything
Hey.
special that I used to do.
Okay.
Hmm,
Well, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Okay. Well, actually, at this time, I'd like to introduce Ryan Freet and Lauren Jones, because they are now part of the civic leadership. They've taken over some roles, and we have decided to make the civic more of a team effort. So Ryan and Lauren have volunteered to come on in that capacity, secretary and vice chair, and we're all very interactive with each other. So it's just really sharing the work as we see fit and as needed. So you guys want to say a little bit about yourself? Lauren, would you like to go first?
Sure.
Introduce
Hi, everyone.
yourself and tell us something about yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all, and I'm excited to be here and excited to be participating in the leadership. I'm a relatively new member of the committee, so I am kind of getting involved and also joining the leadership all at once. So it's very exciting. I live on Hamlet Street, close to Fifth Ave, with my partner Zaki and our daughter Ophira, who will probably be making some appearances throughout the meeting. And I really like living on Hamlet Street. I work at OSU, so it's a great setup for me. And something about me, I'm originally from Canada, so I am kind of becoming American and developing Memorial Day traditions and that kind of thing.
That is so cool. Like you really have to become a citizen and all that, or you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to
I'm not a
move?
citizen, so I am kind of midway through all of that.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is really cool. I've never actually. Are you going to take the test and everything?
I don't know. I just got my green card over the summer, so I have to wait a few years before I'm allowed to move to the next step. So I haven't kind of gotten that far yet, but
Wow,
yeah.
that's really exciting. Well, welcome to the United States.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. I love Canada too, though. Great. And welcome to the Civic Association. We really mean it. We're glad you're here. Ryan.
So my wife and I moved here. We're here in a week or two. It'll be a year that we've been in Wyland Park. I see us
Wow, I can't
walking around the
believe that.
neighborhood a lot with a double wide stroller with twins in it. We try to make it everywhere. It's really fun. But we've got some newborn twins that are 6 months old. It's really exciting to be able to get involved in the community. I was nervous that I wouldn't be able to with time and everything, but everyone's been super accommodating and kind of adapting to a team approach. Makes it really nice to be a part of it. Really excited to be more involved in the neighborhood. Do a lot of things together.
We're really excited to have you. Ryan and I live very close to each other, so I get to see the double wide quite often. So yeah, welcome to the Civic, Ryan. Really. And we have another guest. She did introduce herself briefly, but I'd like Beth to tell you a little bit more about herself too.
So, well, thank you so much, Tanya, and thanks for having me here. So, I'll ask you just quickly, do you know what our neighborhood liaison does? I got one nod. Okay. So this is where I'm going to give you my pitch. You got two. Good. So I'm with the Department of Neighborhood, City of Columbus. And as the neighborhood liaison, I'm your connection between downtown city government and the neighborhood. So my office is actually at the Northside Pride Center, which is over on 248 East 11th in Wyland Park. So I'm during the day, I'm your neighbor, right? And I've been there I moved over just a few months ago. So previously that I spent over 5 years on the South Side as their neighborhood liaison, working over in the Reed Avenue Center. And then before that, I worked with the program called Neighborhood Pride, so which moved all around the town. So it's for those of you who may have been here. What?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So if any of you remember 2007, I think we had Neighborhood Pride over in Wyland Park, and we had our events and festivities out of the the church over there on 7th Avenue. And the neighborhood was very different then. And then we also had a neighborhood pride where we did one with Wyland Park and Milo Grogan. I don't remember what year that was, but we had that over in Martin Janice. So I've been through the neighborhood, in different respects, but I'm excited to start working with you. I actually live up not too far, so 7 minutes away, up in on South Clintonville. So I'm your neighbor. And so I'm here just to connect. So my office, I know Tanya, I think, gets my newsletter. I do a bi-weekly newsletter if you want to be part of that, which will have updates from the city and anything else that I think might be helpful for you. So some of the things that you had on your agenda were actually in email that I've sent out recently, like the Short North Yard Sale, or the information that you'll share later about Kogo Bikes. So because we all partner with all of those things. And then if you have questions, like 311 is under our department. So I work very closely with them, our code officer, our community liaison officer, and our social worker. So if you have any questions in those regards or about any city services, please do give me a call, and I'll put my email, if I have access to the chat, which I do, I can put my email and contact information. And I want to give you one plug, and I'll put this link in here. I have a bunch of these flyers that I was going to bring to you today. We've got a special event in Wyland Park with the mayor on June 23rd. So I'm going to put the link in the email chat. It's going to be 4:30 to 7:30. And this is part of our Rise Up CBUS event. So we're going to bring a variety of city departments, mayor's office staff, and we'll have a good time. So any questions for me? No?
A bunch, but I guess let's the meeting go and then we go from there.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll put my info in the chat.
Over. I'm happy to have you over the meeting.
Thank you so much, Beth. I say welcome to Wyland Park. Let me get my camera back on. Please excuse me, my grandbaby is visiting and she has a bit of an ear infection, so she was crying. So I had to go squeeze up some medicine. So in a minute, I'm gonna have to leave and to give it to her real quick. So that's gonna be fun. Anyway, just welcome to the neighborhood, and we look forward to partnering with you on several projects around the community. And you are welcome at any time to anything that the Civic is involved in as a real partner. Okay. So the Short North Community Garage Sale, I don't know if any of you have seen the flyers on the website and been talking about it or heard anything about it, but it isn't imminent. It's imminent. It's June, is it the 4th, Chris? June 4th. And it is in conjunction with the Short North Garage Sale, Victorian Village, Denison, Italian Village. We're all doing it all together. And it's just one ginormous community-wide garage sale. So here was my thoughts. We really collected a lot of stuff during the pandemic. I don't know about you, but my house had Amazon hopping. Not just me, but my daughter was sending stuff. My son was ordering stuff. Okay, I ordered stuff, but they were just buzzing. So we're kind of bursting at the seams over here. So I don't know. The idea of a garage sale sounds really good to me. So if you have or know anybody that would be interested in being a part of it, it's from, I think the flyer said 12 to 3, but it's really 9 to 3.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Set up in front of your house. Now, the thing is, there is a link that you can go to for the Short North Civic and become a part of their map. So people can look and see where places to go to shop are. And all you got to do is go, and the link is on that flyer. So I'm going to put the flyer up again. Actually, I'm going to fix it and put it up again. And then you can have your house on the map or not. It's really up to you. But the link will be there, okay?
You can also put it on page 2 if you go to winelandpark.org and then just look for the Wineland Park yard sale. And on our page, link up to the Short North Civic's website, where it's basically just a Google form. It'll just ask your name, your address. You can list like things that are at your home, and then it'll plot you on a map. And on our page, as well as the Short North Civic's page, there will be a listing of all the houses that are participating. So if you guys have a yard sale, get on there so people can come to you and they're aware and they can make their way around to our neighborhood.
Yes, it's really going to be a lot of fun. So please tell your friends, tell your family members, you know, just get out there and have some fun. Okay? Okay, great. So any questions about that I should ask? Okay, fine. Great. All right, so next on the agenda, Chris, were you taking this next one?
Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. What was it?
Oh, okay. Don't worry, I have it. It's Joyce Hughes dedication event.
Oh, okay.
So you want to talk about it, or you want me to talk about it? You can talk about it.
I'm sure I can talk about it. So we met up at the, they had like a welcoming event for Joyce Hughes, which is the park that is just at the beginning of the entrance of Grant Park. So behind those condos and in between the apartments, there was maybe about, I don't know if it's even an acre. So there's a
About
circular,
half an acre.
half an acre. Okay.
I think so.
So there's a circular concrete walk path. And then at the very front, there's letters that say Joyce Hughes Park. Towards the back, there's like a, like it almost is, it's like, it looks concrete like, but it's faux, some sort of material. So it's like a
Yeah.
sitting.
Like a fiberglass, I guess. Like a
Yeah, maybe
fiberglass.
fiberglass. So like almost like an artistic piece. And then there's flowers and trees throughout. The family of Joyce Hughes attended, as well as the 7th Avenue Baptist Church. So it began with some music and prayer, and then some of the family members and others that had known Joyce Hughes had spoke for about a few minutes. And then they also had some coffee, ice cream, and some snacks. It was pretty well attended. The weather was pretty gorgeous. So it was great to get to see the final park because it had been discussed for a number of years, and Laura, participated in getting that committee together, where they worked with the HOA group that technically owns the land, but one of the one of those key points of the park is, though it isn't public land, it is a publicly available park. So anyone is, welcome to attend the park. Tanya and I spoke to the HOA as well, and we're thinking about having some outdoor movies this summer. So we're not sure how many and when, but they definitely were excited for us to bring up that event. There is some electrical outlets, so it should be pretty accessible.
I didn't think they would be.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen that park, it's just down the road. You can walk right over. It's within the little roundabout at exactly. Let me see. What is it? 7th Street.
Sixth and Grant.
It's 6th and
and
Grant. 6th and Grant. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's lovely, and it's a great place just to come and sit and meet with friends and just take your little ones for a walk. Have you taken the twins there, Ryan?
Yeah, we walk over there fairly frequently. Loretta gets out there pretty much every other day.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little park to go out to. So it was a really nice event. The weather was lovely, and it rained earlier that day, but it cleared up and cooperated. And Laura was there. She looked lovely, Laura Benoit. And it was just a really nice event. Chris was there, and a lot of our neighbors that had known Joyce and had worked with her previously. Oh, we forgot to say that Joyce actually was a Civic Association president.
Yep.
It was very instrumental in the revitalization projects that went on here at Wyland Park. So she became very integral in a lot of the improvements that were made. And she helped a lot of people get repairs for their homes. She helped negotiate a lot of different pricing for neighbors. And she worked very closely with the Columbus City Council to make sure that that Wyland Park remained a diverse, economically and ethnically diverse community. So if you like what you see and how you live here, then Joyce has had a great deal to do with that. So the park is a great tribute to her. And as Chris mentioned, yes, Laura.
You're muted, Laura.
Sorry, I was pressing my space bar with great confidence, like it was supposed to unmute me.
Right? I know,
It
right?
wasn't helping me. I was trying to say that one of my favorite things about that dedication was that knowing, and Tanya, you were there in the early days of forming that committee for that
Mhm.
park, where there was definitely a group of Grant Park, very new neighbors who had just paid lots of money for their properties that are adjacent to that
Yeah.
park. And there was tension for sure in the early days
Yeah.
about the notion that this was going to be a public park. And I think almost my proudest moment of that dedication was hearing the head of the HOA stand up and say to everybody there that she wants everyone to know that everyone is welcome at that park and they want everyone in that park and they want to be part of the neighborhood. And I think we really achieved that as a community in that committee.
That was
So I was really proud of that. So if you ever hear neighbors kind of muttering and saying, well, that's not really for us, then, if we don't use that park, if we from the rest of the neighborhood don't go use that park, then people are going to forget that it's for everybody. So, spread the word and take a walk over there every once in a while.
That is so true, Laura. I mean, this is the legacy that this particular point in time of a civic, to remember it through the pandemic or however you want, but this is the legacy that we left, that we literally integrated Grant Park residents within Wyland Park, because in the beginning, they literally did not think of themselves as Wyland Park. And it was quite the challenge we kept reaching out, we kept inviting them, we kept including them. And I think during the pandemic, when there was nothing else to do but get on a civic and see what's going on in the neighborhood, they really did, begin to connect and engage. And Laura's efforts in creating the housing committee and then the Joyce Hughes Park committee really went a long way in helping that to happen as well. And so, yes, Laura, I agree. It was a great moment for her to say that. And a great segue into us using the park is, as Chris mentioned briefly, that we were going to have the movie night at Joyce Hughes Park, because we were talking about what we could do there, a group of us. And Chris and I were looking at each other and we kind of wanted to say it, but we didn't until we did say, well, we were thinking of maybe a movie. And they were like, oh, that would be great. That would be great. This is all the residents around the area. We're like, really? You're cool with that? They're like, yes. And I said, well, what about other people? Would they be upset? They're like, they will love it. They will love it. Just set it up. They'll come out. We were talking about popcorn, food trucks, ice cream, because Chris and I during the pandemic and the Civic had planned this movie night, and then we're told that by Catherine Cole, your predecessor, and it wasn't Catherine that said it, but it just happened to be that when we mentioned it to her, she said, well, it's the pandemic, you all can't do it. We're like, what? It's outside, we're going to be distanced. No, it's a public property. You can't do it. So we were hurt because we had put time, money, and effort into that. Thank God we were able to get our money back. Or had we spent the money yet?
No, we had not.
Okay, but we had partnered up with Gateway. They were going to get the movie. We had it going on. I printed flyers. Everybody was so excited just to be getting out the freaking house and went to a movie night. So we're going to be able to make that happen this year. So that's kind of after this garage sale, and we do have other things coming up, but after the garage sale, we are literally going to start planning for that. And so stay tuned. If we're lucky, we can do two, but we know we're definitely going to do one at the Joyce Hughes Park, and then we're going to have other events there. And anybody here on this call or anybody in the Civic is more than welcome to give suggestions. The one thing about the leadership of this Civic is we're not all about us. We're all inclusive for ideals and engagement from the community to help us become better partners and better neighbors with each other. So anybody have any suggestions, we'd love to hear about something else we could do at Joyce Hughes Park. I would like at this time, will anybody have anything, questions about that? Suggestions this time? Okay. An update on Godman Guild. As you all know, they were in the process of selling and purchasing a building. So a few weeks ago, they actually closed on the building over at 195 Grant Avenue, which was the old, was it Guidestone building. So they are now over on Spring and Grant, and it's accessible by the bus line, so that's good. And they sold their building to Thrive, and it's going to be a demolition. They're going to demolish it around August 1st. So I wanted to prepare you all for that. Yes?
It was Marker that they sold to.
Marker. Did I say Thrive? I
Yeah.
meant Marker.
Yeah.
Help me out here, Ryan. You sit there like, what?
I just shook my head.
Yeah, Marker purchased it. Yeah. But it's coming down on August 1st. Is there anything you want to say about that, Ryan?
Tentatively, would be sometime in August.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if any of you see it go down, go boom, that's what's happening. And we all are aware, but Godman Guild is not going away. It just relocated. And while it was near and dear to our hearts as the hub of Wyland Park in terms of resources and neighborhood gatherings, they still have a huge place for Wyland Park in their hearts. So anytime we need them, and I speak as a resident of Wyland Park, but also as a board member of Godman Guild. Anytime we need them, we can reach out, and I'm sure they will be there for us as much as they can in any capacity. Camp Mary Orton is still there, so our children are still privy to go there. Yeah, and they will always be a part of this community. But just so you know, that's what's happening. Anybody have any questions?
Tanya, still have their junior program like at the elementary school, right? Is that like a after school program?
The ACEs, I believe they'll still have ACEs over at Wyland Park Elementary, and they moved their team, their SYEP, Summer Youth Empowerment Program, is actually over at the Ohio History Connection Museum now.
Okay.
They have literally reached out to us to share space. I don't know if you all know, but I run a program called Parents Strengthening Parents, a support group for parents and children and youth. We do youth leadership and we do parent leadership as well as parent support. And we also were offered space over at the Ohio History Connection, so we're over there as well. And that's where the Summer Youth Empowerment is there as well. And having said that, they actually have, let me plug this really quick. The Ohio History Connection had brought back a Storybook Village, and had we been in person, I would have been handing these out. So I don't know if you all can see these. I don't know how to, but if you have toddlers or little ones that might be interested, I have these. These are free tickets. And you can get in, and it's just this weekend for it's like all the I guess it says Be a Hero, and these little story time characters will be there. So this is a free pass, and I think up to 8 people. It's for June. Oh, hold on. It says June 11th and 12th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So June. So I have these, and if you would like to get one for your families, 1 or 2 or 3, just let me know. I was gonna leave them out for for people to get, so just let me know. It's for like young kids and toddlers. Storybook Village over at the Ohio History Connection. And please go. We went, Chris, Michael Wilcox, myself, and what's his name, Cameron, Camilo. We went in the winter, and it was a lot of fun, wasn't it, Chris? It was like a Dickens Christmas. It was pretty cool.
It was, yeah, the Dickens Christmas event. It was quite fun. It was my first time to that Ohio Village. So it was event. It was fun. It was a little
Yeah, it's
chilly.
like
They had
Old Town.
lit and
Yeah, well, it's warmer now, but it's like old Ohio back
Mhm.
in the was it the late 1800s, early 1900s. So if you
Yep.
get a chance, I would suggest you go. It's really nice, and they
They have a
couldn't
bunch
be
of
more accommodating.
they have a bunch of volunteers that will dress up in like vintage clothing. I think they change the period like every so often, so I don't recall exactly what decade we were, but they sort of change it up. And each volunteer stays in character. They'll be in a home and they'll tell a story about that home. So it's quite
Yeah,
the event.
yes, it was really nice. So okay. Also, I wanted to. Well, anybody else have anything else to say about that? Okay. Well, next, I wanted to tell you guys about Chet Ridnar. Actually offered Wyland Park to give away free COGO bike share annual memberships, and these are an $85 value each to our network of board members, our volunteers, and our residents to use as we see fit. And basically, there's a membership that we have access to these bikes that we can get on and ride around, and then partners and memberships will get like the newsletter, we'll get pictures and photos of maybe us riding, how you can redeem the coupon, of course, social media copy, and then they're there as a support team. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's been really cool. We did fill out the membership, and we got ourselves a network. Our Wyland Park, we have this code, so if you're interested, we confirmed our promo code, and we had 25 passes, but they wanted us to have 50, but he said 25 if there's other people in the homes, and they could have one too. That would make it 50. So if anybody is interested in, being able to do this, let me know, ride bikes or whatever. Kind of cool. That was nice of them to do that. Any questions about that? Okay, great. Also, next, the discussion report. Would you like to report on a Wyland Park Civic Association festival discussion, Chris?
Sure.
Or
Yeah, we have some 2 times every second Thursday of every month. We have like a planning committee, and so far we have I think about 10 different vendors and organizations that will be attending the festival and be setting up a booth. We will have like a bounce house, large hamster balls. We're working with the city to get the park permit secured. So most of that already has gone through. I think there's a few lingering items that I think we're waiting on the city to review and approve. So once that's all in place, we'll make payment for the park permit, and that will be on August 20th, the festival, from noon to 3. We will have a DJ as well. What else am I missing? We'll have the City of Columbus Fire Department. They will have like a fire safety setup, or what Tanya was calling the smokehouse. They should be.
When I called the fire department, they're like, it's not called the smokehouse, it's called the steakhouse. And I was like, oh, I can see that. Okay.
Hey, I saw a bunch of smoke coming out of a tiny house.
So yeah, they'll be present as well. We'll have Franklin County Auditor. We'll have Keep Columbus Beautiful will be attending. I believe we'll have the police as well having a booth. Tanya had a couple organizations that she was interested. One was like a Narcan organization. Another was like an African American men's
The wellness walk.
wellness.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see who else. We also had
The Narcan booth is, so they'll be passing out free Narcan kits in case someone ODs, and you can have one. I mean, you can get them free, but it comes with a video of a training for how you use it. It's really simple. Just stick it up your nose and punch, but it's good to have because you never know.
Yep, we'll also have, I believe there's a new apartment management company that wanted to attend as well.
Mhm.
So I'm not certain if that has any
Oh,
affiliate. Go ahead.
I think an artist,
I'm sorry.
and then Donna, an artist.
Oh, an artist.
And then Donna had Thompson Rex to come. And they're going to have a table.
Yep.
And did we hear from the Dream Center about cooking the dogs? Hot dogs and burgers?
I don't believe we've heard confirmation yet. I can't recall if that was a Michael Wilkos item that he was following up with.
I thought he was, but I can also follow up with them.
I think we're going to also invite Zora's House. I don't think we've had that confirmed, but there's a number of organizations that will
They'll
be
be
present.
there.
Yeah. We'll have,
LC said they'll be there.
okay. So if the Dream Center doesn't have food options, we'll figure out we'll probably have like hot dogs, hamburgers, just some simple grilled food. It'll all be free. So there's no admission cost. There's no food cost. So that, keeps things, more simple with our park permitting process. So yeah, keep that on your calendars. I think it's been 2 years.
August 20th from 12 to 3. Now that is from 12 to 3.
Correct. Yep. So we've been on like a 2-year hiatus. So looking forward to get our festivals back in order. If you get any questions, or if you have any organizations that might be interested in attending, just let us know, or they can just email officers@winelandpark.org.
I wanted to ask previously, what kind of organizations, aside from the ones you've listed, what kind of organizations have you seen be interested and do well at the festival in the past?
You want to take that, Chris or Lauren?
I don't recall some of the prior vendors because I was involved in the festival.
Yeah, restaurants.
Okay, restaurants are a good one. Okay.
There were musicians. We did have, we had COSI, but they opted not to come this year because they came and did like a, what's it called, an activity table? Not an activity table, sensory tables. They had for the little kids, and someone was there to do face paint, and we need to find someone that could do some face painting, volunteer in the neighborhood. But the kids loved that sensory table that COSI came and shared with us. Had the sand, had the bubbles, and all that fun stuff. And then someone drew animals on their kids' faces, tigers, lions, and bears. Oh my! Like I said, restaurants that would hand out like samples. Like Gingy's Ice Cream came one time and gave us ice cream. I don't know if that was free or not. We've had artists come before, I believe. All the usual suspects that we mentioned already. We will have the Ohio History Connection there for sure. The library is usually there, we do have security, just so you know. The police will be there. We have one policeman, he's a dancing policeman, so he usually does the electric slide with the residents when the DJ's playing, and there will be a DJ. So it's a lot of fun. One year we had the Zumba class come and do their class that day there. So anybody that wanted to could come and just do Zumba. So that kind of thing.
We'll also have,
Information, it's informational.
yeah, we'll also have the Friends of the Lower Olentangy watershed. They operate the tree nursery on 8th and 5th. So I think they'll be present as well. So just a lot of various neighborhood affiliated organizations. Anyone is, welcome to attend if they have any interest. So we don't really restrict anyone from attending, nor do we charge any booth fees. It's all free for people to attend, both residents and organizations.
Yeah.
They just need to get a kind of count of how many people, like organizations who plan to come, need to let people know so that there'll be enough tables because they rent some tables.
Yep. We're maintaining
Yeah.
like Excel spreadsheets to keep a good list of that.
I guess by the end of July, we should have a good head count. You think? Is that a good timeline?
Mhm.
Hi guys, this is Aiden. How you doing?
Hi, Aiden. Nice to see you on.
Yes, nice to see you guys. I need always to try to catch up, but for some reason, every time I couldn't make it. But nice to hear you guys. Really good.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, how you guys doing? They have a lot of this new things, so.
Yes. Are you going to be coming to the Civic Association Festival this year?
Yeah, I'm coming. I try this even if hopefully by the time is this if I can get chance is this I can volunteer helping you guys too.
Honey, that will be great because let me tell you, we are going to need all the volunteers we can get on that day.
Okay.
Setting up tables and tents and putting up tablecloths, placing trash cans. Donna Madeleiner actually got with Kroger as well to see if they were willing to donate those big square cardboard trash cans that they have, and maybe some paper products to serve, like the paper plates and things like that. So we really are fortunate that they are coming on board to do something like that and help us out. And anyone that's willing to come out and help, the more hands, what my mom used to say, many hands make light work or something like that. So yeah, that would be great because we have to stay and we have to put it up and we have to tear it down. So we say 12 to 3, that's for the people, but we'll be there from more like 8 to 4 or 5. So it's an all-day project, but it's a labor of love, and I hope you guys really come, and you'll hear more of a buzz about it as it gets closer. I know the residents are looking forward. It's a big deal. People come out, so be great.
Good. Okay. Nice to see you, Laura. Haven't seen you for a while.
So it looks like that's pretty much what we have. Does anybody have any other announcements or anything they would like to share, or any,
I have a question.
Okay.
The parking, now is this, used to be by meter, but now they change it. Is this you doing by your phone?
Yes.
So, and for the residents, is it still, how is this working? You paying monthly, yearly? Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know.
there
Beth,
is.
would you?
Yeah, there's a bunch of meters that they got rid of, like in downtown, but they're replaced by kiosks. So even if you don't have the app, you can go to the kiosk and pay with like cash or credit.
Yeah, and that is correct. I'll add to that, Chris. That is correct. You can use the kiosk or the phone app, but if it's not going to affect, if you're talking about your residential permit parking,
that's what I would. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, we've changed out, parking services has changed out the meters to kiosks, but residential parking permits, I am not aware. If you want to give me, I don't know, we've had some changes where some areas have gone digital or instead of the stickers and tags. I don't know which one you are.
Yeah,
If
and
you're-
it's not stickers anymore. It is
Okay, you are digital.
the plate number with the city. And then if you have like guests, if you live in the permit zone, then I think you get like, it was like 300 or so guest passes that you were able to have per year. And they were like maybe $3. And I think they've reduced them. So maybe it's like $2. You could check with the parking services group, but you would just give that code to your friends that want to park, and then they have to go in the app to enter that code. But I think if you don't have the app, there might be like a phone number that you can call to have someone over the phone facilitate that.
Okay, so you have to do it to go to the city.
Yeah, but only
Okay.
half Wineland Park is within the permit zone. So if you're on Summit West, like the west side of Summit, and it goes maybe up to like 8th is the northern, maybe up to 9th is the northern boundary. But if you live east of Summit, then most likely you're not part of the permit zone.
And I
Well,
put
my-
And Lauren,
in the chat, I
Lauren
put in
just
the
added-
link.
okay, awesome.
Yeah, I think Beth and
And-
I just put the link.
Both.
If you want to
Yeah.
apply for a permit, you can go to that link. And I actually didn't know about those guest passes, Chris. We just have like a second guest permit. And I go on the app and, or not even app, the website and enter my guest's license plate, but those passes sound easier. So I'm gonna look into that.
You can get up to 2 actual permits that you can, like if you had 2 cars in your household, you
Yeah.
can get two of them. But then in addition to that, you can get like a friend pass, and then that works for up to 24 hours.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you, thank you. I was wondering. Thank you.
Well, anybody else about the parking? Because I just installed the app, and I was really mad at the city of Columbus because I went over to the Dream Center for a service they had there. But I was with someone, and she had the app, and I didn't have the app, and so we put the parking on her app, but she defaulted it to my license. So when we came out, I had a ticket, right? So of course I fought it because they took the money, and they didn't respond to me for 2 weeks. And by the time they responded to me, the ticket had went up $20, and it was like something like went from $15 to like $30, $35. And then I appealed it because I showed them the picture of it defaulting on, they asked for, did I have proof? And I showed them a picture of it defaulting to my license plate. And I had since gotten the app. And so I said, so we were there, we paid the parking, so I don't know why we're still, having to fight this. And they said, well, we're gonna stick with our decision. 2 weeks later, and they charged me $65 total. So for $4 parking, I'm not even $4, like $3 parking, I ended up having to pay $65 plus the parking, initial parking. So yeah, that was not cool.
I'm sorry to hear that, Tanya. And if you want to catch up with me or send me an email about that, I can look into it. I can say that because if you show them the proof, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
I can show you the whole stream, and I'm not saying it for you to pay me back or anything, but this was like very odd that you would ask me for proof and then tell me you were still going to uphold it, because basically that my car was parked there and I didn't have the app, even though we paid for it with the lady's app and she defaulted to my plate.
The other
Yeah,
thing with the meters was, like they didn't talk, like the meter and the app didn't talk to each other. So if you put money in the meter, like you had to remember, like when the meter expired, if you wanted to tap off in the app, or if you paid on the app, you can't really go to the meter and top off unless like they sort of overlap. So I don't know if the kiosks have any integration between the app and that. But I know
Yeah.
the meters were separate from the app. There was no correlation between the two.
Right.
I know, and with these updates, sorry,
Go ahead.
as you mentioned the app, see, I was afraid when you said you were mad at the city, I was expecting a complaint about our new 311 app. So,
Oh, no.
so that's why I was
No, I
bracing
genuinely-
for. Wait, there's one hand on that.
I've tried to
Laura
set up an
might be
account
funny.
3 times and I have not been successful in setting up an account with that app. So I guess I'll just keep calling.
Yeah, so with that, if there's complaints like that, Laura, send me an email and we have an app, our new app with 311. We've had it for a month and 6 days. So if you're having a problem with starting up your new account, I can see if I can help reach out to our 311 team. I know that I've got 2 accounts, one for work and one for home. And mine transferred over, but you had to start up a brand new account. The accounts did not transfer over, but your old tickets did. A lot of people were calling me because if you had an open ticket before the launch, it was closed and then reopened, and so some people were confused. But the app has some positives. I think it's friendly to use if you can get it to it. But there are different ways to enter things in now. So if you have any questions about that or complaints, feel free and I can always forward them on.
Thank you.
Tanya, did we want to give like an update on the land bank?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead. That was, yes, because that was awesome. I wanted to do that. Thank you.
Yeah. So the land bank actually reached out to Matt Adair. He used to head up our housing committee. And so he forwarded us a message from the Central Ohio Community Land Trust, which is sort of, I think, an affiliation of the City Land Bank and the Franklin County Land Bank. And they own 7 parcels of land in our neighborhood, which I think all 7 of them came from land that Campus Partners had acquired.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
4 of those homes, or 4 of those lots rather, will be duplexes. And then the other 3 will be single family homes. So initially they were just going to put 7 parcels of single family homes. And, a bunch of the residents had said, we're definitely proponents of higher density in the area, and you might get more value out of the land if you have like a duplex. So they did fortunately look into changing that up. So they are going to break ground on the 3 single family homes, I believe sometime this year, maybe as, let's see, did they say exactly when?
I need to look too. I was literally, my other phone is charging, so I couldn't.
They just said this year we plan to build the new builds. They didn't say exactly when this year. So,
okay.
But that'll be, nice to see some empty lots actually having some new builds, and they will be, affordable units to the neighborhood. So they aren't like a Section 8 like property. It is like there's like an income cap.
The workforce housing is what is that what they use?
I don't know if they're exactly workforce housing. They, Laura,
I think Laura knows.
Yeah, they're gonna,
Yeah,
it's gonna be part of a land trust arrangement where the city maintains ownership of the land, and not the city, but the entity that owns this trust of properties. And then the houses themselves are for sale. And when someone buys them, the house price is discounted to be affordable to pretty low bands of income. You have to be able to qualify for a mortgage, but beyond that, the price to buy the house is discounted. And you don't buy the house and the land, you buy just the house. And then
It's like a land
Yeah.
lease.
exactly. And then
Okay.
if you decide to sell the house, then basically you sell the house back to the land trust. And that way they
Mhm.
can maintain those as home ownership that's affordable in perpetuity is the goal.
Sounds like a really good program.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to have the lady from the Central Ohio Community Land Trust to come and talk to us. Her name is Hope Paxson, Paxson. Hope Paxson. She's the Vice President of Programs and Housing. I'm going to have her come from the Land Bank Center and present to us about it at our next Civic Association meeting. And she's willing to keep us updated as they began building. They did not give a date. I'm looking. There is not a date. So they'll just be making sure that we are aware of their progress. Okay. And she's part of the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation, COCIC, as well. The Franklin County Land Bank.
Could you share her name and contact just so I know what it is, Tanya?
Yes, I'll do all that. Right? Do you want me to share with the group or with you?
I whatever, either works. I don't know if anyone else has questions for it. I'm glad she's coming to talk to her, but it sounds like really good information to have.
Yeah, I'll share it with you. Absolutely. Yeah, and like she said, she shared with us before. So yeah, I will share it with everyone, putting it on now. I guess I did it. Yeah.
and then her email is just hpaxson@cocic.org.
H. Paxson.
I'll
at
paste
what?
it here. I'll paste it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
You were moving faster than me.
Thanks, Chris.
Usually I'm on my phone and on the screen, but I'm having to switch back and forth, and I guess Chris's hands are quicker than mine. Thank you. Great. Okay. Anyone have anything else? Well, I just want to, I can't let this meeting end without acknowledging the horrible shooting that happened just a few days ago, not to mention the one that just happened a week or so ago over the weekend. And the senseless killings, but just more recently, those babies and those teachers in Texas. I've been literally tearing up all day about it. And as more and more information comes in, just how senseless it was, and the big why, all the whys. Why was he allowed to come in that school? Why was he there an hour? Why was he able to walk around with this gun? And just why? And why did these poor babies have to? So I just wanted to say to you all to, hug your family a little tighter today. Love on them, hug your babies a little tighter, and just take care of yourself, because this was so traumatic. And just be kind to yourself and be kind to others, because I feel if we could make kindness a movement, then maybe, it will catch on, because we've got to be able to equalize this root of evil that's going through our country with these senseless shootings. If we could just neutralize it with some kindness, maybe, you know, it will spread more than this evil. And I just wanted to say that because, you know, those families, my heart just breaks for them, you know.
Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely. Just know that we at Wyland Park strive to be a tight-knit, close community of friends and neighbors who really care about each other and care about the community we live in. And we just want to make this a safe and happy place. I said it many years ago when they started this project and we're doing the word clouds. How do you envision Wyland Park? And I stood up Voters Day and said, you know, I want it to look like Sesame Street. All the different types of people and different types of everything and everybody that was there on Sesame Street, and they all lived in harmony and everybody was wonderful. And I know it sounds a little hokey, but they did ask. So I'd love to see Wyland Park be that. So I'm just doing my part in being the type of person and the type of neighbor that I'd like us all to be. Having said that, you guys have a lovely evening and a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Just before we go, when is our next meeting? Just so everybody knows. With the new
Well,
schedule.
Right.
We probably won't have
quarterly or as needed.
I know we won't have a June and we won't have an August, so we'll probably have a July.
July.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
And I
Thanks,
put
Beth.
something in the chat I forgot to mention while you were talking about that, Tanya. We have a training that's open to the public about understanding
Okay.
cultural, and I put the link in there if you want to sign up for it.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
So,
Beth.
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thank you
Have a
so
great
much.
night, everybody.
Good
All
night,
right.
everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.